this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove their strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie, just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify the things that you believe in. Have to scream it like a battle cry and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love. Those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug. Those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make of lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Do this for my mother, she'll be working for the summer. Do this for my father, cause these days I often wonder what my life would have been like if I was not adopted. To grow up in a home where I was treated like a problem. I don't know, it's just a guess. Your guess probably good as mine. Lucky that I grew up in a home that wanted me to shine. Lucky that I grew up around some mountains we were taught to climb. Without that inspiration, I don't think that this would be my life. Do this for my friends who've scattered all across the country now. I'm out in Sweden walking back through life so I can write it down. Make a living off the sound, so crazy to say out loud. I'm the biggest thing since Travis Rice to come up out the town. Sorry, gotta stunt a little. Used to have my dreams belittled, but it's all a part of it. I know people's minds are fickle, lines between reality and dreams I blur like faded nights. Come up been so good for me, I wish that I could make it twice.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Oh yeah, good to see y'all today. Hey, I do this for my father. I apologize. We're working on the ticker at the bottom there. I'm having to change the color because obviously I'm wearing a red shirt. We'll never do that again. It was laundry day. I couldn't find my LSU shirt, so I have to rock this nonsense, this Georgia red. I don't have to do it, but I chose to do it. I went outside. I went to Cracker Barrel today. Decided to get me some French toast for brunch, for lunch and breakfast. And while I was sitting there, I was hoping to get a syrup stain on this damn shirt so I didn't have to wear it for the show. But here I am. I'm wearing it still, loud and proud. Hey, it's that Pride Month, right? So that's what we do around here. Nonetheless, nice to see everybody. You guys know the deal. You drive this show. If you got questions, I got answers because Rico knows. Nonetheless, all you got to do, get on YouTube, get in the chat, throw it in there early, and I'll get to you guys. Okay? I promise I will get to you guys. Do not send me any questions on TikTok. I won't talk to TikTok. Those are the minions. Those are the lemmings. But first thing we do, man, we talk about what's trending in sports today. So let's talk about what's trending. You guys see the bottom ticker. First thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller so you guys can get here. First thing we're going to talk about is this boy right here, Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller, a preferred walk-on from Dakota Ridge. Now, if you don't know Dakota Ridge, that's a school in Colorado. But he's going to go play for the Colorado Buffaloes. This is a defensive back. Now, they talk about all the different walk-ons. I tell you right now, I've done a video on Charlie. I've done videos on Caleb Mathis. Shout out to my boy Caleb. Sometimes he's here in the chat. Sometimes he joins the show. But I've done videos on a ton of walk-ons. Haven't done any videos on this young man. Actually, first time coming across his name, Brandon Miller. But he's 6 foot, 170 pounds. It's going to be a while before he sees the field. Maybe in blowouts when Colorado's winning by like 40. But this young man decided to walk on for his local school, and shout out to him for doing it. So Colorado gets yet another quality player as a preferred walk-on. Now, if you guys ever wanted to see a great walk-on, like that nobody's talking about, I did a video on him. Ben Finnisett. Ben Finnisett is the truth. I love that dude. Just a big, bulky safety. Plays hard. The walk-ons at Colorado can play at other schools. I'm just letting you know now. They can make it at Group of 5 schools all day long. But they chose to represent their university and stay there. So shout out to Coach Prime and his coaching staff. Getting another quality player from the local area and get him to stay in state, keep all the talent in state. But I'm proud of that young man, Brandon Miller, getting to pursue his football dream, further his education, and do all the great things. So props to him. Let's go. Next thing I want to talk about. Do any of you guys know who Everson Griffin is? We used to call him the E-Train. Everson Griffin was you know what? He was a 5-star player coming out of high school. Just so we're clear. I want to say he came out of Arizona. Everson Griffin went to USC, and he was the E-Train. He was everything. And after being at USC for a while, he went to the NFL. Viking great. You can see it there, the C on his chest, captain. But something's going wrong, bro. He might have some CTE in his life. I don't know. He got a DUI. It's funny. They can't confirm anything. All they tell you is a man of his age, address, and description was booked on charges. That's what they say. They're not sure if it was him. They're just letting you know that somebody of his age. Yeah, I couldn't find it. Maybe it's not in this story, but I read it somewhere else. They weren't sure. They couldn't confirm it. They just said a guy by the same name from that house and that age was arrested on a DUI. It's unfortunate. This is a 4-time Pro Bowler, played 10 years in the league. He should just stay home, man. In this day and age of Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, there's no reason to drive drunk. There's just no reason to drive inebriated. You know, I had a friend go out and drive inebriated, and he fell asleep at a red light. He fell asleep at the red light. He just foot on the brake, asleep at the red light. And the cops came, and they parked 2 vehicles, one in front of him and one behind him. And they woke him up. He jolted, and he tried to go forward, and he knew he was done. Happens a lot in the military, guys. As a senior leader in the military, a lot of my young soldiers go out and drink. We do safety briefs every Friday. Every Friday, last formation of the day, we stand there, and me being a first sergeant, I gave him that safety brief literally thousands of times. I've been a platoon sergeant for many, many years, been a first sergeant for 3 years. I've given the safety brief over 1,000 times, and my safety brief is the same every single time. I tell them, don't drink and drive, right? Don't drink and have sex. Don't drink and swim. Don't drink and do anything is what I tell them. Literally. Don't drink and do anything. You're going to wake up with something you didn't want, whether that be a kid, a disease, a criminal record. If you're going to drink, stay still. Do it at the house and do it alone. Be a loser and do it alone. Or don't drink at all. But don't drink in big groups of people. Don't drink out in public. Don't go out and get sloshed or just have a swig or just do that. Nah, bruh. Hey, shots on me. Everybody, let's do it. Lemon drops. Nah. Hey, but you don't know, Top. I got to drink, man. Just got to knock the edge off. No, I do know. Been there. Done that. Don't drink, bruh. And another thing. If you're going to drink, be with somebody who doesn't drink. Don't have a designated driver who just drank the least amount. Don't have a designated driver who drank less than everybody else. Have a designated driver that doesn't drink at all. Let me tell you guys a true story. We were at the barracks all day one day. I was a specialist at the time. I was the soldier of the year. Oh, shout out to me. I was hanging out at the barracks. I was a married soldier. I didn't even live there. We were having a barbecue, and we were playing basketball. And I just remember everybody was drinking all day long. We had one room, one dorm room, one barracks room open. And we had a bathtub filled with ice. And in the bathtub was nothing but liquors. Liquor, alcohol, whatever. It was all in the bathtub. I remember I had a Sprint camera phone, one of the very first camera phones with the Sprint camera. And I took a picture of that bathtub. I might have had a picture of that thing for like 10 years. It was the worst. We were getting drunk all day long. And then we looked at each other and said, let's go to Mexico, because we're at Fort Huachuca, Arizona. Let's go to Mexico and let's go party. And the club don't start till midnight is what we said. So it's 9, 10 p.m., and we're saying, let's go to Mexico. We pile into 3 cars. I'm the driver of the second car. I'll never forget it. And we start driving to Mexico. A group of people. I'm talking maybe 5 people in each car. We're going to Mexico. Go hit the club. You know why? Because they got wet t-shirt contests, bro. Because they got girls out there that'll do anything. That's what we're thinking. And as we're going to Mexico, there's this back road. You're going to this town called Bisbee. It's got a bunch of stairs. It's an old border town. It's a terrible place to be. It's near an old mining town. And on this dark road, the guy in the lead car was extremely inebriated. And he starts flooring it, going over 100 miles an hour. I'm driving the second car. I said, man, I ain't speeding. We'll get there when we get there. We don't need to speed. You can't see shit. It's all night. And that dude seriously veered off the road just slightly. All I know is he's gone. And now I'm driving, and you know how when you drive at night in the desert, if anybody's ever driven in the desert, if you go off-road, you'll just kick up a bunch of dirt. And you can't see very far. Your headlights will just start hitting all this dirt. It'd be real dirt. I remember I was driving, guys. I was going the speed limit, and all I saw was all this dirt in the sky. And then off to the left, up on a hill, were headlights facing me. Headlights facing me, I immediately thought, damn it, that's Border Patrol. That's somebody's they're gonna pull me over. And I'm driving with a car full of dudes. I am the least inebriated. I keep going. Nobody pulls me over. Nobody comes after me. Then my phone starts ringing. And it's the girls. The girls were in the third car. Everybody's girlfriend was in the third car. And they're screaming. I can't understand shit they're saying. I slam on the brakes. I'm like, what are they doing? They're screaming. They're saying, come back, come back. Oh, my God, they flipped. Come back. I'm like, what? That first vehicle had veered off the road slightly. Just got in the dirt a little bit. And the driver overcorrected, does a 180, hits the little divot, boom, flips his car. Gets on the hood of the car, and it slides up the hill. Those headlights I saw was the car upside down facing me, and I was like, oh, my goodness, they died. So I turn around, I run back over there. I'm sprinting to the car. We're pulling everybody out the car. There's blood everywhere, glass shattered everywhere. We don't know what to do. We call 911. We call our first sergeant, and he says, don't move. I'm calling MPs. We're getting everybody out there. Where are you guys at? We said, we're over here somewhere, right? Guess what he says? He says, what are you guys doing out there? Mexico's off limits, guys, but we used to go every weekend. He says, what are you guys doing out there? We said, we got a girlfriend. She lives out in AP. It's a different city out in Douglas. He said, what? Oh, we're just going to go see somebody's girlfriend. We weren't going to Mexico. We just busted ourselves. We weren't going to Mexico. He's like, all right, everybody in my office right now, everybody. So he pulls up to the site. And we're 20 minutes from the base. Says, everybody in my office. We all have to go to his office. He says, hey, 3 of you guys stay back for the TA-50. There was gear in the trunk of the car. We had to wait for the tow truck to get there with a winch, flip it over. We're going to get all the TA-50 because that's government equipment. We're going to get all the gear out of the trunk. So he says, Rico, he likes me. I'm the soldier of the year. He says, Rico, you and 2 friends stick around. Wait for the gear. I'm like, all right. Hey, Gonzo. That's one of my buddies, Gonzalez. Hey, Gonzo, you're with me? And then I grab one of the pretty girls. Maria, you're with me. Hey, Maria, Gonzo, right here. We're going to chill. We're going to wait for the gear. And we're waiting. Everybody's going to First Sergeant's office. They're all in trouble. We're all in trouble. Everybody's career is over. Everybody's done. We're waiting. Tow truck gets there. We get the gear. And we go to Mexico. We go to Mexico at 1, 2 in the morning because the club don't close till 4. We party our asses off and dance all night because we said we're already in trouble. We go to Mexico and dance our asses off all night. And then we show up to First Sergeant's office and go, man, that tow truck took forever. Showed up like 5 hours later. True story. Terrible thing to say and do. Learned a lot that night. Number one, my career wasn't over. I wasn't drunk driving. But learned a lot that night. Never drink and drive. Never be around people who put alcohol first. Never be around people who drive drunk. Just get away from it all. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You don't have to make them. How many people need to be pulled over for DUI before you decide you don't want to have a DUI in your life? Now, I'm 40 years old. I've been driving a long time. Never had a DUI ever. Got pulled over once. Had to do a field sobriety test because I was driving without a shirt on at 1 in the morning. But I was actually just got out of the nightclub, got done dancing. My shirt was covered in sweat. I didn't want to be in my car all sweaty and wet, so I took my shirt off, threw it in the trunk. I'm driving around with no shirt on, 2 in the morning, true story. It is what it is. But I just hope you guys all learn from people's mistakes. Don't be Everson Griffin. You don't need to have this mistake. Sorry for the long tangent in the story. It's a true story. Yeah, shout out to the guys who flipped it. Hey, Taylor Tatum. I did a video on Taylor Tatum. I showed you guys the number 1 running back in the country, supposedly. He's committed to Oklahoma. He chose Oklahoma over USC. DeMarco Murray was his running backs coach and recruiter and got him to go. Now, this is the best running back in Texas, supposedly, and he's going. And the reason I keep saying supposedly is because I watched his tape, and I told everybody, hey, man, I watched this tape. I don't think he's the best running back in the country. I think he's a very good player. Great vision, good speed, plays against good competition. He looks good, but he ain't the best running back in the country. What he is he's fully qualified. Because I just saw a running back down the street from me who's going to a community college, not fully qualified. Right? Jontavious Curry. Man, I know what I'm saying. Jontavious Curry, not fully qualified, much better than this guy, but he can't get in. He don't qualify. Got a low GPA, low scores, low tests. Got to go to school, get his shit together. But this ain't the best player in the country. Now, is he a good running back? Hell yes, he is. So, shout out to Tatum. Committed to Oklahoma. Venables and the boys. Hope he does well. Hope he gets utilized. They just had a 1,300-yard rusher in Gray. They know what to do with running backs. Oklahoma has a long history of great running backs. It's kind of easy to sell a kid when you go into your recruiting visit and you have a great running back there, a running backs coach like DeMarco Murray. I'd imagine he can coach it. He definitely has street cred. Let me tell you another good running backs coach that most people don't talk about. UCLA. Their running backs coach is Deshaun Foster. And you guys don't know this. Some of you might not know this, but Deshaun Foster, in high school, he rushed for 3,700 yards in one season. Tustin, California. And then he went to UCLA, and he balled out. And he's back. Deshaun Foster is the running backs coach at UCLA. All of a sudden, I see all these running backs going to UCLA. I'm like, damn, who's recruiting them? Some of these position coaches are great. You're seeing Chris Winkie coaching. You're seeing Ernie Sims coaching. It's a who's who wherever you go. There are good coaches all over the place. Just so we're clear. Give me a second here. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Back to what we said. FSU. I hate to say I told you so, but I always get it right. I'm tired of saying I got it right. I'm letting it go now. I'm always getting it right. Florida State got themselves a hell of a linebacker. They went and signed our boy Juice, right? Juice Cryer. Justin Cryer. The last time you guys saw me on a live stream, I told you Justin Cryer's great. Watch the tape. I pulled it up. I said he's a thumper. He's a middle linebacker from Northwestern. Don't go labeling him a sissy. Don't go saying he was out here doing any of this hazing and all this nonsense. This man wasn't even at the school yet. This man was in high school, crushing everybody. Pause. I didn't say smashing, but crushing. I like everything about this man's game. And I said, hey, I think he can help a program. Now, I didn't want to go naming schools because I didn't want to limit him anywhere. But my goodness, Florida State went and grabbed the kid. He's great. Looks great on film, and I think they watched his film. Let me just say this. Florida State would not normally recruit this kid. He's from the Houston area. Florida State doesn't got a lot of pull in the Houston area. They don't have a pipeline to Houston. They do have a pipeline to the transfer portal. Every significant starter on Florida State is from the transfer portal. I'm not kidding. Quarterback, 2 wide receivers, tight ends, running back, offensive linemen, defensive ends. Everybody at Florida State is a transfer. Everybody. It's amazing what they've done. They go and hit hard in the transfer portal. So once this young man hit the transfer portal, whoever's evaluating the transfer portal for Florida State, they probably watch my channel. They're like, yo, we just watch Rico Knows. That's all we got to do. He knows every player in the portal. We watch him. We learn so much. And let's go get this kid. He's better than some of the people we got on our roster right now. And he's going to be great. I'm hopeful that this kid stays there. He looks like, puts academics first. He was going to Northwestern. So he might be at Florida State for a while. And one day you're going to hear about this juice, Justin Cryer, and he's going to be smashing people every single way. I mean, he's just a thumper, y'all. He hits so hard. Speaking of hitting hard, Paul Craig. Paul Craig from the UFC. He did his debut. He came back. He went out there and he finished Andre Muniz. Muniz is a good fighter, jiu-jitsu guy. And he beat him and he did what he did. But let's talk about it. You know who he called out? He called out Bo Nickel. You ain't calling out Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel, 3-time All-American, 3-time national championship wrestler out of Penn State. Bo Nickel is the truth. He's an American wrestler, turned MMA fighter, but actually knows his jiu-jitsu. And this guy right here, Paul Craig, called him out. Now, Paul Craig wants a payday. Here's what Paul Craig knows. Bo Nickel's fighting on main cards. Bo Nickel is fighting on main cards of pay-per-view events. This man wants a payday. But don't bite off more than you can chew, bruh. Bo Nickel's American. This man right here, what is he? Is he British or is he Australian? Forget what he is. Is he Scottish? He's foreign. And I got beef with everybody, right? If you're not an American fighter, I don't like you. You guys ever watch my pre-fights? You guys ever watch my live streams? I'm quick to say it. Oh, no, he's not American? Okay, I got to go with the American. Probably 80% of the time, I'm like, yeah, I don't like that guy. I got beef with him. What's your beef? I don't like anybody from Russia. Call it what you want. I don't like these guys. I'm going to go for the other athletic person from America. Oh, what? Him? Yeah, I like him. Why? Because, man, I got to have pride in my people. They got pride in their people. Don't get it twisted. There's not a Brazilian fan of the MMA right now not chanting and cheering for a Brazilian. It's not racism. It's not elitism. It's not any of the isms. It's pride in your culture and your country. And it's about time we have American culture. And I ain't talking about hot dogs and cheeseburgers. I'm talking about real culture. And our culture is we're winners. We're winners. And victors tell the story. So let's keep winning so we can keep telling this story. Don't even ask me my best fighter of all time. You're not going to hear me say Khabib. You're not going to hear me say anybody from Russia, bro. He's Scottish. Well, he's skittish in my book. He ain't it, baby dubs. I'm with you. He's Scottish. I don't like anybody from England. I don't like anybody from the islands. I don't like anybody from Ireland, Iceland, Scotland, Poland. I don't. I got pride in my people. They got pride in theirs. They got pride in their every fight I see somebody waving some flags and ain't nobody saying shit. So I'm right here. I'm repping my people. Real talk. America, bring it. Paul Craig, careful who you call out, buddy. Hey, I've been telling you guys about Braylon Allen for a while now. I've been telling you guys Braylon Allen. If you guys don't know the story about Braylon Allen, forget that he's had back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons at Wisconsin with a terrible quarterback, okay? When you have Graham Mertz at quarterback, that means you're going to have 8 to 9 guys in the box because nobody's respecting that man's passing ability whatsoever. All right, so Braylon Allen is running against stacked boxes everywhere. Braylon Allen is like 6'2", 220, 230 pounds. He's a huge back. And he skipped his senior year of high school. That's right. He reclassified and he started balling out against college-level athletes at 17 years old. So he's like 19, and he's had back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons at the FBS level. Braylon Allen, to me, physically the best running back in the country. Physically the best running back in the country. Now, everybody's talking about it. He's built in a lab. He's squatting 600 pounds. He's cleaning 405. Dude, they're watching him squat this right here. They watched him squat this. Are you kidding me, bro? I see all the workout videos. That's a lot of plates. Over 600 pounds? Power clean? Over 400 pounds? Dude, power clean over 400 pounds. Bruh. You want to try to deal with that in between the tackles? I'll see you in the A gap. 6'3", 247. Oh, they're talking about somebody else. Oh, they're talking about Derrick Henry. They got Allen at 6'2", 240. Braylon Allen, 6'2", 240. He's a problem. Shout out to Wisconsin. There's gonna be a problem. I'll get you the chat here in a second. Get your questions in. We're good, y'all. Odell Beckham Jr. announces his retirement plans. He says this will be his last season. Yeah, bruh. If it doesn't go well, he's going to retire. If it goes well, he's sticking around. But listen, I don't care how well it goes. He makes half of what the kicker makes, bruh. Justin Tucker makes twice as much as Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. is making $3 million this year. Justin Tucker's making $6 million. That's enough to make you want to quit. They're paying kickers more than they're paying you. And shout out to the running backs because they're making even less. Odell Beckham Jr. ain't it for me. I don't even like him. I don't even want him on the team. But they need him. I hope they get crushed. I hope he does nothing. I'm just keeping it real. I think he's taking the job from somebody else. I like some of these underappreciated, undrafted free agent wide receivers that never get a chance. They never get a chance because they keep paying these veterans who show up for what? They show up for week 3. They won't do any of the preseason work. And then they show up and go, well, I couldn't learn the choice routes. I couldn't learn what was going on. Yeah, you, Chad Ochocinco, and everybody else who gets on a new team and can't learn the new playbook. I'm over it. I want these young guys who are hungry, working hard every day. That's what I want to see on the team. It sucks. They do that. Running backs make it all the time. Undrafted free agent running backs make it all the time. Undrafted wide receivers, they don't ever make it. Such a rarity. But I got to hear about these dudes holding teams hostage. Hey, New Orleans. They added a new person to their coaching staff. You know him, Leroy Glover. Leroy Glover, former Cowboy, former Saint, New Orleans Saint. He's joining the coaching staff. Now, he just spent this last season, he was the Battlehawks defensive line coach at the XFL. So they say he's coming in just to be a part of their think tank. He's not an actual coach. It might be more like an internship if you ask me. But Leroy Glover in the coaching game, I do like to see former players get a shot coaching and becoming relevant. It's hard. Coaching in the NFL is so driven by nepotism and not by opportunity and not by ability. It's just straight up, who's your dad? Who's your brother? And it's nice to see Leroy Glover get a shot, even if it's just to come in and join the team and consult and talk. The Saints have brought in a lot of people. San Diego State Aztec. There you go. Leroy Glover, former San Diego State Aztec. Shout out to him and Larry Ned. And who else can we go back to? Tolliver. J.R. Tolliver. Don't get me started on San Diego State alums. I got you all day. We could go round for round. You know what? To be honest, you guys don't want to try to name former players of any school. If we were going to go name player for player, round for round, I don't care if it's your favorite team. I'm going to crush you. I'm telling you that right now. Rico knows. Anybody want to go round for round with me on any team in the country, in the history of your school, who can name more players? I promise you, I can name thousands of players from your school. People you don't even know who went there. People you forgot that went there. I'm dangerous. It's a disgusting thing. Thank you for being here. Hey, Evander Holyfield's son. You guys know the deal. Elijah Holyfield, right? Ain't that his name? Elijah here. Used to play at Georgia. Tore his ACL. They say he's shredded and he's coming back. Look, guys, I watched the workout. I'll put it on for you guys. I'll put it on for you. Elijah Holyfield, and they're making a big deal out of this workout. They're making a big deal out of this workout. Yes. Let me turn the volume down on this thing. What I see is a guy stuck in third gear, bro. I get it. He's ripped, chiseled, and all this. He looks like an in-shape Ezekiel Elliott. I'm telling you, he just doesn't look like he accelerates very fast. He just looks the same speed the whole time. I watch a lot of film all day long. This ain't it. They're like, well, he needs to get a shot. Look how great he is. Look how in shape he is. Yeah, man, I've seen his dad. This is all genetics, okay? This is all genetics. This guy's not running fast. Look at those feet, great feet. He's not running fast. He's a bruiser. He wasn't fast to begin with. Oh, my goodness. It's so slow. I'm telling you. If you're impressed by this, let me know. I'm definitely not impressed by this. Not even a little bit. Shout out to Holyfield. Everybody, Rico, he needs a shot. He needs a shot. Nah. Hey, Michael Venom Page. You guys, hey, if you don't know MVP, Michael Venom Page is the best fighter outside of Chandler. Michael Chandler. Michael Venom Page is the best fighter to have never signed with the UFC. Turns out he's really close to signing. He was on the website. If you went to the website, you did a list of all the fighters. There was like this empty silhouette, and it said MVP on there, but then it went away. But Michael Venom Page might be coming to the UFC. It's a little exciting. If you guys have never seen him fight, he's got these highlight reel knockouts all over YouTube. So go ahead and give it a shot. Michael Venom, like a snake, Venom Page, he's Mr. Fancy Knockout. And I'm talking about real fancy. Now, Kim's going to hate him. A lot of people are going to hate him because he's very cocky. This man is making fun of you, mocking you in the ring. He's dancing around after he punches you. He's laughing and pointing at you as you're stumbling around. He lacks a lot of, what do they call it? They call it, I guess, respect for the game, sportsmanship. But I'm telling you right now, the man can put up or shut. Like, he can really do his thing. So I'm cool with the guy. I'm cool with him. Michael Venom Page might be here. All right, before I hit the transfer portal and I hit the transactions, we'll go to your guys' questions. Now it's your turn to drive the show. If you're on TikTok watching us, thanks for watching, but you got to show up on YouTube, answer the question over here, or ask the question, and I'll get to it. Ask only once, and then we're good to go. Thank you guys for being here, though. Let's go. Chicago Bears 360 says, what up, Rico? Hey, what up, Coach T? I'm with you, man. Apparently, Coach T, he talks about the Bears, 360 degrees. That's pretty awesome. Bruh, you counting down an hour. I'm headed back to TikTok. Yes, we count down an hour. We start the show. You can come into the live stream at any time before the show starts and get your question in early. If you want it answered, you can just get it out there. That's pretty cool. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Shout out to Steve, one of my moderators. He says, ask whatever you want. Just do it once, please. Check out ricoknows.org for all the merch you need. I want to tell you guys, we have some new shirts. New shirts, they say, if your friends don't know, and then on the back it says Rico Knows. Another one says, if you want to see a dead body, on the back it says Rico Knows, because I'm stomping them out. We appreciate you guys. All of the merch purchases go to maintaining my lifestyle. I appreciate you for maintaining my lifestyle. We know, hey, we're not fronting. I'm not on TikTok Live begging with my Cash App. I'm not sitting there, oh, please donate to me so I can eat. I got to pay my bill. Those people make me sick. I see them all the time. I don't even have a Cash App, to be honest. But we're doing our thing. It's just a trade for services, right? I do videos for free. I give these kids shine. I cover every kid in the transfer portal. I don't care if he's Power 5 or not. I don't care if he's FBS or FCS or not. I cover every kid in the transfer portal regardless. When these kids come to me and ask me can I evaluate their high school tape, and I know it's getting them an immense amount of pub, I don't ask for no money. I do it for the good of the team, right? I do it for the goodness of the kid and his dream. I just reviewed a tape of a kid playing football in Rhode Island. Rhode Island. And you know what he said to me after I posted the video? He goes, yeah, Mr. Rico, I just want to be honest. I'm really not 6 feet tall and 210. I'm a little smaller. I'm like 5'10", 205. And I'm like, yeah, you play guard and you're 5'10", 205, bro. You ain't got to lie to me. You ain't got to lie to kick it. I watch tape. I know the deal. How the hell were you 6 feet tall? The guys next to you were all 6'8"? It doesn't make sense. But, I'm not going to drag anybody. Still going to do my part and help them out. And yes, coaches do see the film. I get a lot of DMs from coaches. And they want to reach out and give me their real phone number and talk offline. I try to tell them all the same thing. Hey, man, watch the content. You want to talk to somebody? Reach out to the kid. Reach out to his coach. I'm not here for it. And the reason I'm not here for it is I'm not here to be a recruiting coordinator. I'm not here to be the guy. I just don't want to be that conduit or that middleman to vouch for anybody. I put out my videos, I make my assessments, and I keep it moving. And I have a lot more to do. I get 40 requests a day. I told everybody I get a dozen a day, and one guy once called me out and was like, well, you ain't got to lie to kick it. Nobody's asking you 12. No, there's no 12 a day. And then I had to do screenshots and proved it to him. I even had 20 on the weekends. And I said, yeah, buddy, you're wrong. And I proved it. I am right. It's one of them videos in the I am right playlist Or maybe it's on the beef playlist and that boy got crushed. But since that day and since I've been doing that, now when I put out a video, I get so many requests. It's bananas. I have no chance of catching up. Zero. But we'll do what we can. So there we are. I got this. What up, Willie Bobo? Lewis Henson. Shout out to you. He always gives me the thumbs up and then a bunch of elephants. If you guys don't know what the elephants are, they're for Roll Tide. He's an Alabama fan. He will be in mourning all season long. It's unfortunate, but hey, he's here. Appreciate it. Seth says, forget FAMU. I think Northwestern should suspend their entire athletic program. So, FAMU didn't suspend their entire athletic program. The coach suspended football operations. They'll be back soon. He just wants to know who let him in the locker room. Who let Boston Richie from Tallahassee, Florida, the worst rapper I've ever seen, who let this guy in the locker room and put on one of these helmets? Who let this guy near our equipment? It had to be somebody with keys, because not all that shit's available, especially late at night, off-duty hours, whatever it is. He just wants to snitch. He wants to know what's going on. Sup, Willie Bobo? Hey, Steve giving a shout-out to Willie Bobo. That's pretty cool. Come on, everybody. Let's go. What up, Mr. Steve? There we go. A lot of respect in the chat today. Yo, Rico, how about Femke? Wow. Glitter Dude comes in here and he says, how about Femke? Now, he has an exclamation point, not a question mark, but it is a question. How about Femke? And if you guys don't know who he's talking about, Femke Bol, B-O-L, Femke Bol is one of the greatest 400-meter hurdlers, females, in the world. She's usually the third best. We have the two best. We have Sydney McLaughlin and Dalil Muhammad. And when you look at those two, they've been trading world records back and forth. They've been trading first and second places. But then you got this young, slender white girl, totally opposite of what we have. And she's out there getting third every time. Well, it just turns out she's running open fours. She's running the 400 hurdles, and she's running fast, PR fast. And it looks like she's going to give our girl some comp, especially with Sydney McLaughlin not running her hurdles this year. She's been running the open four. I'm not sold on Femke Bol. I don't think she's beating our girls, but I get it. She looks sharp. She looks good. Aaron Brown predicted she's going to win. Well, Rico Knows says not so fast. I'm sticking with me. Hey, once again, I'm rocking with Americans. I got all the pride in the world. Rico's sporting the Georgia University at Athens t-shirt. Shout out to Steve. That's correct. This is Georgia University, G-U-A, GUH. That's how we say it, GUH. That's the name of our dog mascot. And, our rival is FU. Our rival is Florida University. Go FU, Florida. Yeah, our rival is FU. Shout out to you. Appreciate the cut. I'm out here in Cali, yo. It's hot. Willie Bobo. I know it's hot. I got a screenshot. You guys don't know this. I come from Southern California. I got a screenshot of the temperature in the car. My twin brother sent it to me. It was 128 degrees. Shout out to Indio, California. It's hotter than heck out there. I'm going to do a quick weather search. Give me a second here. Indio. I'll pull it up on the screen. It's warm. It's warm. It's cool today. No big deal. It's currently 109. The high's only 112 today. That's not going to be bad. But tomorrow it's 117 and 117. How is the low 90 degrees, bruh? 90 degrees? You guys always ask me, hey, Rico, you ever going back to California? You visiting California? Hell no, I'm not visiting California. Under no circumstances. At the same time, Kim Jones was out here with me the other day, and I was out running in the peak of the heat in Georgia. Now, Georgia's humidity-driven, right? I was running in this heat. I do my 5-mile run. I'm running, and I don't drink water when I work out. So Kim says, this is why you can do this. This is why you can handle the hottest day in Georgia. And you go out and run at noon. She's like, because you grew up in that. You grew up in 117, 120-degree weather. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You guys don't know what it is till you go to football practice in 120-degree weather. You don't know what it is to try to put on football gear in that weather. It burns you. It burns you. Try doing front back goes. Try doing burpees. Oh, start chopping your feet and trying to hit the ground. It is so, you got gel sweating in your face. I used to rock a lot of gel. I don't need so much nowadays. It's a real thing. Shout out to whoever's living out there. Stay inside, bruh. Keep the AC pumping. You need Bosley. Okay. Nah, you got to get chicken and dumplings at Cracker Barrel. Only right thing. Glitter dude. I don't like any Southern food. I don't mess with soul food. I actually think soul food is trash. Let me make this very clear. If you look at it historically, soul food is all the leftover food that the rich people didn't want, right? When they had slaves and when they had indentured servants, they gave them the pig's feet. They ate the rest of the pig. They gave them the terrible greens they didn't want. They ate all the other things they wanted. They gave them all the stuff they didn't want. And these creative, ingenious people added things to all this stuff and made it edible and made it tasty. And they said, this is soul food. No, this is the leftovers nobody wanted. They gave you the shit end of the stick, and you made the best of it. You did the best you could with what you were given, and you're accustomed to eating it, but that's some traditional nonsense. I want to eat the best part of the pig. I want to eat the best part of the food. I don't want this shit. I don't want any part of soul food. I want good food. It's a huge difference. But you guys grew up on it. You've been accustomed to it. You don't even think about it from that perspective. And I do, because I come from Southern California. I'm Mexican, bro. I moved to the South, and I'm like, what is this? Why are people eating this shit? I'm not eating gizzards. I'm not eating, what is this? Nah, bro. Give me the T-bone steak and step off. But you guys keep eating chicken and dumplings. I ain't meant the dumplings. I'm not eating nothing with dump in it, bruh. Is he retired? Who's retired? Oh, Everson Griffin? Yeah, I believe he's retired. You cannot say he in here, guys. You can't say he or they. By the time I get to the chat, I got to know who you're talking about. So you know more of that. You got to actually spread it out and say what it is, okay? What's your role in the military right now? Glitter dude, my role in the military is to get the hell out. My role in the military is to retire. I am a senior enlisted member. I was a first sergeant for 3 years. I'm still a master sergeant. I'm a senior leader to men, but I don't go to work. I don't have any role whatsoever. I am trying to retire. I have VA appointments. I'm getting evaluated to retire and get my VA rating here before I get out of service. But I've done over 20 years. I've done my time. I am a senior enlisted member of the cyber community. I do have degrees and certifications and top secret this, that, and all that. I've done everything you could ever dream of in the Army. I want no part of it. I'm over it. I'm done. This is my profession. This is what I do. Any update on Mike Drennan out of Kentucky? Yeah, the update is nobody wanted him. That, from what I can tell, Mike Drennan's still in the portal. I don't know if that's grades. I don't know if that's not qualifying. I don't know what it is. But Mike Drennan's nowhere to be found. That's a 4-star guy who passed up USC to go to Kentucky. You're there at Kentucky, and nobody wanted you, or you didn't ever see the 2 deep, and now you're gone. What do we do? Guys like this, it happens all the time. I'm never surprised when it happens, just so we're clear. Okay, this had to be a long time ago. Brother, Mexico's been off limits forever now. So, Shanae Roan. So, Mexico wasn't off limits initially when I was there, but it became off limits back in 2005. And we still went for a number of years. I want to say I stopped going to Mexico 2009. Don't quote me, 2008. Stopped going 2008. And I think I crossed over in Nogales back then. Any update? Okay, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Rico, how much of an impact will Justin Cryer be for the Knowles? None whatsoever, Chris. None whatsoever, Chris. Everybody needs to understand. Recruits don't impact your team. Incoming freshmen better not impact your team. You're going to be in a lot of trouble if incoming freshmen impact your team. That just shouldn't happen. I don't look at recruits and say, yeah, that guy's going to see the field at all. I never look at it like that. Transfer portal players, yes, they're coming in to start. That's why they came to transfer, because they're going to come in to start for your team. That's why the transfer portal classes mean way more to me than a recruiting class. Recruiting, these players aren't even going to play for your team. They're going to transfer. They're going to leave. They're not going to make the 2 deep, and they're going to leave within 1 or 2 years. I just looked at a recruiting class the other day, 2021 Auburn. Pull it up. There's only 3 guys from that 2021 class at Auburn right now. Everybody else is gone. 21 dudes, 18 of them gone. So do you think the fan base was super excited about the recruiting class that year? Yeah, hell yeah, they were. Just like every single fan base that comes in here and talks to me about their recruiting class, and this recruit's going to make this. Oh, my God, did you see this 4-star just committed? So-and-so just committed. Dude, shut up. Those guys are never going to play for your team. That's not how it works nowadays. It's cool they got into college. It's cool they got a scholarship and they're there. I'm a fan of the player, not the team that they're playing for, because they're going to move and go play for a different team. It is such a rarity for a true freshman to come in, contribute, and make an impact on your win-loss column. It is such a rarity. You better be Braylon Allen. You better be one of the greatest running backs they've ever seen and be a pro. Right? Out of Florida's entire recruiting class last year, the only guy I see starting is Gene. Andy Gene. One dude. All right. Gene at wide receiver. Let's go. How many other guys are leaving? How long before he transfers because there's no quarterback at the school? We're waiting on DJ Lagway? Yeah. What about Rashada leaving Arizona State? Like, everybody's going to keep moving. Get excited when you see a transfer come to your school because he's going to start, and he probably won't leave. Some of them do leave, but let's do the numbers there. What do you know about Private Travis King? I don't know anything about Private Travis King. What were your thoughts on Jordan Love coming out of college? Jordan Love, I've made this very clear 100 times over, played terrible his final year of college, but he was already anointed. They already had said he was a first-round draft pick. Nothing about his play and his style and his ability was first-round draft pick. Jordan Love was drafted because of his sophomore year bowl game, because he was an all-bowl game performer. His sophomore year, he had an incredible bowl game, and then the next year, his junior year, absolute dog shit on the field. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. You go look at the stats. You go look at the box scores. You go look at the games. He was terrible, and they still drafted him anyways because the NFL does not care. They're just drafting on potential. So him coming out, I said that is the biggest waste of a draft pick I've seen in years. Not ever, but I've seen in years. When he got drafted, he shouldn't have been drafted. Forget first round, 26th overall. He shouldn't have been drafted. Let me tell you something. He was second team All-Mountain West. He got drafted before the first team All-Mountain West quarterback. This year, who was the first All-Mountain West? Who was first team All-Mountain West? His name was Jake Haener. First team All-Mountain West. Jake Haener. Winning the fourth round. You don't take a second team All-Mountain West quarterback in the first round. Dude sucks. I'm letting you know he sucks. Now, he's been in the NFL for what, 3 years now? Training, learning. He could be better. But getting no production out of a first rounder, I've never understood it. You got a first round quarterback, no production out of a first rounder. If I'm drafting a guy in the first round, he's playing for me right now. He starts right now. Or I'm not drafting him in the first round. My first 3 picks in the NFL draft are starting for our team right now. Or I'm not picking them. I ain't got time for this. Purdue's running backs coach is tough. Purdue's running Lamar Conrad? Okay. Former Miami of Ohio running backs coach. Not bad. Cool. Just threw out a name out there. I like it. I like Purdue running backs. Marcus Peters to the Raiders. Oh, God. What's the point? Deshaun Foster, Tustin Tillers versus Carson Palmer. Hey, that was the most epic game. I think the final score was 55-56. 56-55, something like that. Shout out to Superfast Dog for knowing that. That's some real shit right there, y'all. I got some of the smartest followers in the world. Some of you guys are passionate sports fans, and it means something to me because I'm going to talk about Purdue's quarterback coach, and then I'm going to talk about Santa Margarita versus Tustin. And Carson Palmer and Deshaun Foster going at it in the playoffs. That's just gangster move right there. I got to know everything. I just need you guys to know one half of that. ODU alum here. My Monarchs winning 4 games this year. Is that what I have them winning? Or are you just asking in general? Because I have them having a terrible season. Let's pull it up, though. ODU football schedule 2023. Let's pull it up and let's start counting their wins. This is going to go bad. I've already done it before. It's in purple, meaning I've already studied this. It's going to go bad. I have them losing to Virginia Tech this year. I know they won last year. They're going to lose at Virginia Tech, you guys, to start the season. They have a chance to beat Louisiana. Okay, whatever. All these are doable. They're losing to Marshall. Look at this. I'm going to just count their losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guaranteed losses. Figure it out from there. The rest are coin tosses. I count 1 definite win. 2, if they can probably beat Southern Miss, maybe. And Georgia State, no. Nah. You said 4 wins? You're spot on, brother. Good luck. I can't go there. Can't get to 4. Do you pay attention to 2025 quarterbacks or only 2024? The answer is no to both of those questions. I know of everybody. Like, I know of every quarterback. I know of every player in high school. Not every player, but I know the top 500 guys from every recruiting class. I would tell you that I don't really care. I don't care what they do. I don't care where they go. I don't cover recruiting like that. Once again, I talk about transfer portal because they're going to play. These quarterbacks are going to sign wherever they sign. And they're going to sit the bench for a couple years and then hit the portal. They're going to lose a quarterback battle in the spring and then hit the portal. I just watched like 20 different quarterbacks hit the spring portal. After losing the 2 deep battle in spring, they hit the portal. So why would I cover them for 3 years before that and they never, ever see the field? I need people to understand that. I don't care about a 24, 25. I don't even care about a 2023 quarterback. That dude's not seeing the field anywhere. What 2023 quarterbacks are starting this year? Point them out. I got a whole chart. Look, man, I haven't updated it in a while. But let me see. Let me see if I can pull something up for you. I have every quarterback depth chart for every single team right here. Every single one. I know every single player. I know every quarterback in college football. At the FBS level, I know every quarterback on every single team. First, second, third string, I don't care. I know them all. I got them all right here. I create this shit. I haven't updated in a little bit, but I got you. My point is, I don't know any true freshman that I need to be worried about making this. What you'll see is people show up and go, hey, Rico, what do you think about Nico? What do you think about Dante Moore? What do you think about? It's just a bunch of 5-star quarterbacks they want to talk about. What are we doing? Why do you want me to talk about the same shit ESPN's talking about? Why would I spend my whole night talking about the same shit you can get anywhere else? I am not Rivals on 3 24/7 Sports and only talk about the top guys. I can't stand that shit. I got their website up because I use their pictures. They didn't write a story about Jacob Schuster here. Jacob Schuster hit the portal. Where's the story? Where's the front page story that Jacob Schuster, a 4-star lineman, hit the portal from Minnesota? Where's the story? They don't even know the kid. They'll pretend like they do. They'll find a beat writer regionally that can write a story on it, but that website doesn't know shit. They just put a picture up. Schuster's didn't even play his senior year. He's a 2020 COVID recruit. And I already told you guys about those recruits. They didn't evaluate them correctly. It's 2 years at Minnesota. Didn't play at all. But when they signed him in the recruiting class, you guys came into message boards and chat rooms and was like, oh, my God, we just got a 4-star. We just got a 4. No, you didn't. You got a guy to come to your school to work out for 2 years, lift weights, and now he's going to go somewhere to play. It's crazy. I talked about this before. But when you see 2 guys from Minnesota hit the portal like this, what does that tell you? It tells you they got to make space. They had too many scholarships. They had too many players. They need them leaving. It's crazy. We definitely appreciate your knowledge. Shout out to you. Thank you very much, Legal Side Hustles. Legal Side Hustles? You talking about like Mary Kay? Fitzgerald can and could develop quite a few linebackers while they're at Northwestern, for sure. Josh Hoffman, I think that was obviously his expertise, knowing linebackers, how to develop them. I did a top 10 players that could transfer from Northwestern. I did a whole video on this. As soon as he got fired, I said, when he gets fired, if you guys didn't know, when a coach gets fired or hired somewhere else, every single player on the roster gets a free transfer entry. They just got to do it within 30 days. And as soon as that happened, I said, look who can join the portal within the next 30 days. But it all depends. What schools have scholarships available? And the first players I started listing were some of their linebackers. I think the first 2 of the top 3 guys I put in there were linebackers because they have stud linebackers at Northwestern. Just old school thumpers, like old school dudes who know how to tackle. So, yeah, Fitzgerald knows how to get himself a linebacker. Craig is very high-level submission guy. Yeah, he's a great wrestler. He's a great submission guy, jiu-jitsu guy. But Bo Nickel Bo Nickel's going to put him in a pretzel, bruh. Bo Nickel's just going to put him in his cargo pocket. He fold him up and fit him in this damn Gatorade bottle right here. That's how I feel about it. Heard Bo Nickel may be taking the year off to focus on family, pregnant wife. That means the neighbor got her pregnant. You don't need to take the year off. What is there to focus? Listen, I got 4 kids. Your wife gets pregnant, you go to work. You don't take the year off because she's pregnant. What the hell? What kind of beta shit is this? You getting her a pillow for the small of her back? You rubbing her feet? It's pregnancy, bro. There's teenagers pregnant right now and still going to school. You can take a year off from work. Who's working around here? We're both taking the year off? Because she's pregnant? Garbage. And when the kid gets out, kid goes to sleep and eats. That's what kids do. They sleep and eat. Their first 2-3 years, they're just sleeping and eating. You don't need to do shit. Change diapers, sleep and eat. Go to work. You're in the prime of your career. You're going to take a year off for your damn... Ugh. I can't do it. That damn rug muncher. Is that what I want to say? Rugrat. I said rug muncher? Whoa! Rugrat. Americans love a winner. We despise losing. Yeah, I don't even know what it is. Preach. Everyone knows John Jones is the world best. BBW, you are in the minority here, bruh. I will never support John Jones. John Jones is a domestic violence abuser. He is a manipulative sociopath. John Jones does drugs. He cheats. He does illegal substances. He uses steroids. He beat a woman. He crashed into a pregnant woman and left the scene. He's a hit and run guy. John Jones is one of the worst human beings in sports. But you like him because he does things when he's barefoot. You like him when he's topless and barefoot? I cannot stand John Jones ever. If there's one person that does not need to be successful in this world, it's John Jones. We have empowered and enabled a sociopath. What's your GOAT? Who's your GOAT, Rico? No, I'm the GOAT, bro. I ain't worried about nobody else. Future Big Ten champs right there. Okay. Braylon Allen better than Bijan. I'll buy that. Because I don't think Bijan was generational by any means. He was my number 2 running back last year. Rico, my G. What up, Black Monies? Black Moans is up in this piece. I can't even say it properly. What do you think is the appropriate ranking for Colorado in the current Pac-12 rankings? Probably 8. 7 or 8 to be appropriate on Wisconsin. There you go. Seth retracted something. Pure rusher like Chubb, Nick Chubb. Shout out to him. What up, Rico? Blessings, bro. What up, Jared? Good to see you, brother. Long time no see. What up, Rico? Is it crazy to think Colorado finishing 4th or higher in the Pac-12? I believe in Shedeur at quarterback and the coaching staff. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy. I think it's just uninformed. You can believe in the coaching staff all you want and the players. That ain't got shit to do with Saturday. Saturday, it's just 11 dudes on the field against another 11 dudes. And let me tell you, there's some dudes in the Pac-12. Remember, the 3rd best team in the Pac-12 was Washington. They were 8th in the final poll. So what are you talking about? You're talking top 4? There are 3 running backs at Oregon State. Any one of them could come to Colorado and be the starter. Like, that's how – there's some real problems out there, bro. There's some real problems in the Pac-12. You don't want it. There's 6 – there was 5 10-win teams there? 6 ranked teams? Nah. It ain't going down like that. I love Colorado. I love everything they're doing. Top 4 or higher? Dude, what are we doing? Just let them play. Let them win and do their thing. What's your take on Plessis not taking the Adesanya fight? LGZ7, what up to you, E-Money? Shout out to you. I wouldn't want to fight a guy that was just screaming a bunch of N-words at me for no reason. I don't understand anything that drunk loser was doing. I don't like Adesanya at all. Duplessis, I guess he doesn't want his hype train to stop. He's avoiding it. He said he was hurt. Cool, man. Don't take the fight. You're not ready. Don't take it. Don't take it. Well, I hope. What does he think? Adesanya's going to lose, and then he can win the belt off somebody else. You got to fight somebody if you want to be at the top. Leroy Glover, SDSU. You heard? Yep, I heard. Straight up Nepo babies. Yeah, I know. Nepotism all day. Lonely Hamilton. Linnell Hamilton. WTF. Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, Hamilton was a decent running back, bruh. Hey, that was nice. That was nice. I remember him. He goes by Rico Knows. He definitely knows tons and tons of players. Yes, Indecisive Angel, this is true. Eli Holyfield is a specimen. Yeah, he's slow as hell. He's a specimen. That's a 4.7 40 if I ever saw one. What about DJ Fluker? Hey, great name. Shout out to you. This person says, sorry, the chat jumped on me. We'll go back. Yeah, don't like cocky. Thank you very much, Kim. We don't like cocky. Michael Venom Page, I'm with you. Rico, what up, Clutch Vibes? Knock off Anderson Silva. Eli Holyfield is a specimen. Then he just wrote knock off. Okay. Oh, you're saying Michael Venom Page is a knockoff of Anderson Silva. I get it now. There's no respect in fighting till the end bell rings. So, no, there is respect in fighting, Josh Huffman. I don't know if you're an MMA fighter. I've been a fighter before. I've been a fighter for 20 years now. I've been a coach. There's a ton of respect you can do in the ring and in the octagon for your opponent. Some of the respect that I talk about is like when you're choking someone out and the ref doesn't, and you're doing the choke and you get the tap and you don't release. That's respect. That's respect or lack thereof. We see it all the time. Guys hold it a little extra longer just because of the press conference hype. It's not cool. Another respect is not making weight. Let's say you don't make weight. There's respect in the fight game for anybody who doesn't make weight or does, right? If you fail to make weight and it's on purpose, there's no respect there. How about when they're in the ring and they touch gloves? They're about to start fighting, they go out and they touch gloves, and then some guys shake it off and don't want to touch gloves. It's disrespectful. There's a lot of things that are unsaid, and it's just a part of the culture, right? They ring the bell. Sometimes they hug each other. Sometimes they touch gloves. Some guys refuse. There's low blows. There's eye pokes. There's all kinds of nonsense going on. So, yeah, there's respect in the ring. There really is. And then you respect your opponent by the way you train and the way you prepare for the fight. If you show up out of shape, you didn't respect your opponent. That's a lack of respect as well. Because you showed up unprepared and you don't respect his work ethic at all. You think it's going to be an easy fight. Who you got winning the Big Ten? Michigan. Who do you got in the Spence versus Crawford fight? That sounds like a boxing match, Gabriel Johnson, and I'll never watch a boxing match. So I got the Ring Girls. I got the Ring Girls and my puppy, Ash, because whenever that fight's going on, I'll probably be walking her somewhere. Hey, Rico, did you get your show's name, patent, copywritten? Clutch Vibes. What's the deal, bruh? Is somebody trying to steal my name? Somebody trying to steal my show? Rico, what up? Stop watching commercials. Worst rapper and apparently a rat. You're talking about that dude? A mouse. Rico, you have proved you have a pipeline to current players. While doing your research, have you heard any stories about coaching staff's negative treatment towards players? Not negative treatment, Al Green. Did you see Cam Newton arguing with the kid? I don't like Cam Newton. I don't. I've watched Cam Newton give advice to kids that he didn't follow. Like I saw him giving advice to kids not to go to Power 5 programs because they don't need you. They don't need you. And it's like, bruh, you went to Florida and Auburn and you went to the highest bidder. Shut up. Like you're such a hypocrite. If you went a different route, let me know. If you went HBCU, then I'll listen to you tell other kids go to HBCUs. I don't like Cam Newton. He's just a hypocrite. That's all. Nonetheless, coaching staff's negative treatment towards players. I want to make this very clear. The vast majority of players that reach out to me to tell me about their coaching staff are jaded players, right? They're benched players. They're in the transfer portal. They're mad at their previous coach. Stuff like that. Parents reaching out to me. This coach lied. This coach said this. This is typically pretty jaded. So I take it with a grain of salt. I got to tell you guys, whenever, as a senior leader in the Army, I'll have a soldier come to my office. Open door policy. Come to my office. He'll be like, hey, Top, my platoon sergeant said this to me. My sergeant did this to me. My staff sergeant did this. And you get their side of the story. And then, instead of making a knee-jerk reaction, what do? I call in the leader, have him sit down, and I say, all right, talk to me. Why does this guy, and the first thing the leader's going to go is, oh, well, he's a liar. He just doesn't like me. He's disgruntled. He don't like me. And I'll look at him and I'll say, hey, man, just so you know, you have some toxic traits, according to this soldier. But I need to know the truth, right? I need to get, there's three sides to every story. So when I get a lot of this information from the players, I am very hesitant to make a video on it. Sometimes I'll just thank them. I'll be like, "Oh, thank you for the information." Right? I got some information about Louisville. I've been praising Louisville in the transfer portal. And then some of the players who had to hit the transfer portal reached out to me and were like, "Hey, they sent me to the transfer portal. I didn't want to go." I got the same information from a Mississippi State kid. I got the same information from a Georgia kid. And I believe the kid. I do believe the player. But I never put it in a video because I don't have the third side. I don't have the other side. I didn't get to speak to the coach and say, "Hey, man, why'd you guys do this?" Right? Because there has to be some justification or some mindset. There's one right now I'm going to hit on really, really big. And I made the video months ago. I told all of you guys, Spencer Sanders is transferring from Ole Miss. I've been saying it for months. Spencer Sanders is leaving Ole Miss. He's not in that quarterback battle at all. He's not even on that team anymore. And then somebody will go, "He's working out. I saw him." Da, da, da. I don't care. He's going to finish summer school, and he's gone. He'll become a graduate transfer at that point, and he's leaving. And that's why Ole Miss signed Austin Simmons from the high school ranks to skip his last 2 grades and come onto campus. That's why Ole Miss was offering quarterbacks in the spring portal. They've known about this since like April. They knew about this as soon as they saw him in the spring because this guy couldn't pass a physical. Spencer Sanders is gone. He's not at Ole Miss, and he won't be there. "Oh, shut up, Rico. You know what you're talking about. Rico doesn't know nothing." Well, wait till it happens in a couple of weeks. Just another I am right. And then we're going to get all the troll. "Everybody knew that. What are you talking about? We all knew that." Shut up. I'm the only one calling it. And the reason I'm calling it is because I've talked to the players. I've talked to the players and parents involved. I've talked to coaches. Now, "Oh, you talked to Lane Kiffin?" No, that's not who you have to talk to. People just need to understand. There's a reason I'm not missing. There's a reason I'm not missing every single time. Like I got two videos today, I am right videos. I'm not missing, guys. Stop it. Because I'm not guessing. Because I'm not giving a hot take. I'm sitting back and assessing information provided to me. I know Deckers at Iowa State will not be playing football this year. So I made a video saying Deckers is not playing football this year. He was gambling. I know that he uses a 3-letter acronym for his fantasy football name, and it's very racist. I know he uses his mom's account on her cell phone or his cell phone to do illegal gambling. I have the receipts, but I don't need to break it that way. People can doubt me all day long. I'm going to stay winning. I'm going to stay right. I'm going to stay accurate. Keep batting 1,000. And the haters are sick, bro. They're turning in bed. The haters are sick. It is what it is. So, yes, I've seen coaches do this. I've seen coaches offer scholarships and then renege, right? I've seen them change their mind. I've seen them bring kids in and then sit them down for exit meetings in spring and go, "You're not a part of the plan. You're not a part of the plan." Sorry. It's happening everywhere. It happened at Georgia. It happened at Missouri. It happened at Mississippi State, Louisville, Ole Miss, Colorado. It's happened everywhere. It's just part of the game. So that's how that goes. Sorry for the tangent, y'all. 85 and raining here in Minnesota. All right, shout out to you. No, Rico, boycott Georgia. They didn't beat Ohio State. Fair. They cheated. Cheap shot on the greatest receiver in the game. LBMS 67. All you had to do was make a field goal, bro. I don't want to hear about anything else. All you had to do was make a field goal. You got to do with a mustache needs to make a field goal. Stop it. We still need that Trey Morris video. I said I owe you a Trey Morris video? You're out of your mind. BBW says you're out of your mind. All right, BBW. You're enormous. Rico, I'm born and raised from San Diego, now in Savannah. It's hot down here. Remember Kyle Turley? Of course I remember Kyle Turley. Shout out to you, Jared. Of course I remember Kyle Turley. Jared, I grew up in San Diego too. Turley was a beast. Yeah, so most of my high school teammates went to San Diego State for the most part. I am a huge San Diego State guy. I support them completely. I like what they're doing as a team, and I know most of their players since Marshall Faulk. So 92, 91 until now. I know the majority of San Diego State players. Real talk. They were slaves, indentured servants. What is that? Learn real history. As a veteran, I must say goodbye. That was disrespectful. LBMS. Leave. Why are you announcing that you're leaving? Why are you announcing that you're leaving? I never knew you were here. You don't have to tell me you're leaving. Just leave. If you feel that strongly about it, just leave. I never knew you were in here. Holy shit. You ever imagine that? Somebody's, I'm leaving. I didn't know you were here, bruh. What the hell? Hey, go to Walmart and before walk in and just look at a price you don't agree with and just scream out, I'm leaving, and then leave. See how much it matters. Unreal. I don't give a flying flip, bruh. Baked mac and cheese and that wool blanket of melted cheese and thee upon thee. Yeah, I don't mess with mac and cheese, bruh. I don't mess with mac and cheese. That's for kids. You give the kids mac and cheese. I don't mess with it. What's your opinion on Notre Dame football? I really don't care either way for Notre Dame football. My opinion is they need to join a conference. Severely overrated at times. That's about it. I think they're going to struggle this year. What do you think of the UNC defense after all the transfers out? Yeah, I think it's going to be terrible, Max. Max Miles, North Carolina's defense is going to struggle, losing every single defensive starter in the secondary, defensive line prospects and depth. It just looks rough for North Carolina. I don't see any, shout out to Elijah Huzzy coming in from East Tennessee State, and I hope he can ball out. But the rest of it is looking suspect. Rico, will you start doing specialist tape review? You mean like kickers and punters? The hell you want me to say? I don't know the first thing. What do you want me to say? Hang time? Look at that corner kick. Look at that coffin corner kick. Like, what do you want me to do? I'll do any review somebody sends me tape. I'll do it, but what am I going to say? Oh, man, he did a 3-step drop. This shit is crazy. If Notre Dame was in the SEC, who are they finishing behind in the standings? You'd be surprised. I would say Notre Dame is better than half of the SEC without issue. The SEC scrubs, bro. Half that conference is scrubbed. I'm watching SEC middle-to-pack teams get blown out every single bowl series. Like, just blown out. What are we talking about? SEC, Ole Miss didn't belong on the field with Texas Tech. Stop believing the hype, man. Turn off ESPN. Turn off ESPN. You got 3 great teams in the SEC. There's 3 great teams in every conference. Every conference. Zion Turner for UConn, but due to injuries. Okay. Any freshmen in any upcoming freshmen that you think will make an impact like Braylon did? BB Dubs, like I said, Gene at Florida's one. I think I'll do a video. I have a couple of names that I want to put together. I wish Andy Gene had come to Tallahassee. Do you know about Devin Ford, running back? Yes, I know about Devin Ford, running back. What do you want me to say? Transfer? Left Penn State? Yeah, if you guys are asking me about a Power 5 player, and you ask me, do I know about him? Like, what are you expecting me to say? It's a Power 5 player. You know what I'm saying? Used to be the leading rusher or second leading rusher at Penn State. I don't know what you guys want me to say. I've made videos on every player that transferred. So when you ask me about a transfer, it kind of blows my mind. But I don't know what you guys want me to say. That just doesn't make sense to me. Just saying. As an Auburn fan, no one was excited about anything Harsin was doing. I think they were. I remember all the talk about Robbie Ashford and Finley. I remember all the talk about Tank and Jarquez Hunter backing him up. Like, don't do that. People were excited about a bunch of shit. What's up, Rico? Tell these Raider fans about why running backs and second contracts. Don't do it. No second contracts for any running backs. Just leave it alone. Sign them for 1 year and keep it moving. Go find somebody else. Don't pay that accelerator. I don't care who it is. Get draft capital, trade them, do what you want, but don't pay them. What should the Angels do with Hatani? Bruh, I've never seen Otani. I've never seen him play a single game. I have never watched a swing of baseball. Nothing. Not a damn thing. I couldn't point that dude out in a crowd. Ohtani? I'd look at him, I'd wave it. Hey, I need a cap. I don't know. No, I don't know that dude. Kid from Georgia took down British Open by a mile, by the way. I don't know the first thing about the British Open. What are we doing here? And they moved up to get him. Oh, yeah, Love? Yeah. Bananas. I'm a Packers fan, and I can tell you that we will be very bad against the elite teams. Okay, Zion. Well, I'm a non-Packers fan. I could tell you you're going to be pretty bad. Did you have any favorite teams when you were a kid? Yeah, Dylan Patrick, I've talked about this many times. Growing up as a kid, I was a Cowboys fan. 1989, they drafted this guy named Troy Aikman from UCLA. And they already had Michael Irvin in 88. They got Emmett the next year. But because I was in Southern California, you give me the UCLA quarterback going to an NFL team, I said, that's the guy I'm going to follow. Troy Aikman, I'm going to follow that guy. And then the next year, they get Emmitt Smith, and it's just dumb luck, right? But that first year, 1-15, only beating the Redskins, that was difficult. Now, as I got older, I want to tell you when it happened when I stopped cheering for teams. It's when Emmitt Smith got traded. When Emmitt Smith got traded to the Cardinals, I stopped cheering for teams at that point because I was an Emmitt Smith fan. And all of a sudden, all my friends were like, oh, no, we don't support him. He plays for the Cardinals. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. I've been a fan of this guy his whole career, and now that he's with the Cardinals, I don't like him anymore? That doesn't make sense to me. You mean I'm a fan of some colors and a little logo? That's what I'm a fan of? I'm a fan of colors and a logo? That just is retarded. That didn't make sense. Think about it. Jerry Rice playing for the Raiders. You're not a Jerry Rice fan anymore? Because he plays for the Raiders? I thought you were a Jerry Rice fan his whole life. You're swearing up and down he's great. That's when I became a fan of players and coaches. I don't care what team they're on. This is why I follow players from high school to the college ranks. And I don't care what school you go to. Don't care what school you go. If I'm a fan of yours, you go to a school, I'm a fan of yours. That don't mean I'm a fan of the school. Like, I love Caleb Downs and everything Caleb Downs does because I watched Caleb Downs in high school playing out of control. And then Caleb Downs goes and signs with Alabama. Am I an Alabama fan? Not at all. Do I want to see Alabama play football? Yes. And I want to cheer for Caleb Downs. I also like Isaiah Bond. Played at Buford, wide receiver, state champion 100 meters. I want to see Isaiah Bond play great, and I want to see Caleb Downs play great. Those are just two individual players I like. That's the way it works for me, is I will follow players from high school through their entire careers. I do not give a flying flip what team they play on. It's irrelevant. I don't like teams. I think teams are just the reason, like, it's regional, and you were born into that shit, and then you just cheer for that team. And it's crazy because Matt Rule is the new head coach at Nebraska, and if you were in Dallas at any point and you were a Baylor fan, you should be a Matt Rule fan. You should be a Matt Rule fan. You should be a fan of Nebraska and want to see Matt Rule succeed. But you're going to sit there, oh, no, they suck. We don't like them. Do this shit all the time. It irks me. It irks me to no end. I will never be a fan of any team because it limits who you can cheer and support. I won't do it. No. Not happening. When are you dropping merch? Need that Rico Knows shirt. The merch already exists. All you have to do is type ricoknows.org. The merch has been out for months. ricoknows.org, and you can go get a Rico Knows shirt. Shout out to you, Bascott Brooks. Bascott Books, ricoknows.org. That's the website. It's easy. You can't get it wrong. We bought the whole damn website. University of Illinois record prediction. Not very good. I think I've done it many times on live. I've got them winning nothing. I got them having a terrible year, down year, simply because they lost their defensive coordinator, their entire starting secondary, their star running back. I think it's going to be a down year for Illinois. Shout out to Luke Altmaier for trying to carry them to victory. We'll see what happens. And I like Luke Altmaier, but Illinois is going to be down. What's your prediction for Colorado? I've given that a million times. Go to either TikTok or YouTube and watch the Colorado playlist. There's a Colorado playlist. All my videos based on Colorado. I have a playlist on both websites. Go watch all the videos. There's 30 of them in there. You'll find a prediction 100 times over. Can you look at Tyler Huff at Furman? Furman's not an FBS school, so that's number one. So I don't look at FCS schools unless it's an FBS transfer. and all requests are done via DM. So direct message me, and that's it. And then I'll do it from there. But I only cover FBS teams. If I'm covering FCS, it's the playoffs or there's a transfer going to an FBS school. It already dropped. Thank you, Colin Bolin. Thank you very much. You guys let him know. Nico might get some play as a freshman. He's the backup plan already. Yeah, BB Dub. A lot of guys might get some play as a freshman, but I don't sit around and spend my time talking about it. I don't get down like that. What you thinking about TCU starting quarterback? Feel like any of them could be day one starter? Well, I don't know what you mean. You think who's the kid from Oregon State that just transferred in? Who's the kid from Oregon State that just transferred in? Chance Nolan? That's not. He's not taking the job. Nah, he's not taking the job. So Chandler Morris has always been good. Chandler Morris has always been the guy. If he doesn't start because he's fragile, because he's injured, something like that, then maybe. But no, TCU's starting quarterback is Chandler Morris. He's been their starter. He was their starter last year. Then he got hurt. Oh, that merch website is fire. Been following since your name was Rico with the numbers at the end. Congrats on the success, Rico. Thank you very much, Bascott Books. Thanks for checking out the website, man. Yeah, we got a real website. Shout out to Kim Jones for setting it up. We got a real website and real shit, and people really buy the merch. I can't wait to go out in public and see a Rico Knows shirt on somebody else other than myself. But it's pretty sweet. They have good linebackers, but apparently they're into some weird stuff. Shout out to you, Twitch. Make sure you hit that like button, y'all. There's 75 people in here. Get some likes. Thank you, guys. Best quarterback in the nation is a high school freshman, Juju Lewis. Yeah, that's opinionated. I've seen Juju Lewis play a lot, and I don't think he's the best quarterback in the nation. Every time I watched him play, I was never like, oh, I just saw the best quarterback in the nation. Never. I never felt that way after watching him. I don't feel that way about watching Aaron Nolan either. So I don't think they're the best quarterbacks in the nation. There's been some other film I've watched that is better than these guys. There's some sophomores, juniors, and seniors out there that are really damn good. Elijah Brown going to Stanford, to me, is way better than Juju Lewis. Like, Juju Lewis couldn't go to Mater Dei and be the starter. Juju Lewis would be a really good backup and get no playing time. And Elijah Brown's going to go to Stanford next year. How do you feel about Chandler Martin, linebacker transfer from ETSU to Memphis? Fun fact, he has a YouTube channel and he does ASMR. Juan Gutierrez. Give me a second. And when I say give me a second, I'll pull the curtain back just a little bit and show you guys. What I need to do, you're asking me about a player. I need to trigger my brain to know who he is, so I only know it if I see his picture. So what I do is I go to Memphis, transfer portal, football, and I need to go to On3. They have the best pictures, better than 20. And I need to go, and I need to search. This doesn't look right. These are the transfers. Don't look familiar at all. So what I do is go to team rankings. Transfer portal, team rankings. Boom. I only need to click on one team. Once you click on a team, it'll give you the output that I'm looking for, which is lets you see who's going in and who's going out. Then I can go up here. I can go to the American. I can go to Memphis. Now I can look at who's coming in. And the guy you're talking about, Chandler Martin. I didn't make a video on him. I owe you an answer, brother. And just so you guys know, I don't always know all the FCS players coming to the FBS because they didn't sign with an FBS team coming out of high school. So this is the only chance that you'll have of coming across a player that I don't know. Because I know all the recruiting classes and I know all the letters of intent signed. I know all the players that join the FBS every single year. It's about 2,600. And I know every single one of them. I study everybody's chart. But what I don't ever see is an FCS player because they're going to a different school. So the only time I see them is when they transfer to the FBS. And Chandler Martin, apparently, I did not see. ASMR? A hard pass on the ASMR, by the way. I won't be watching that. So I owe you an answer. Shout out to you, Juan, for asking. Allegedly. Yo, Rico, love your content. I want to start doing what you're doing. What's the best way to start going about it? Chandler Schleckoff. I get this question all the time. The best way to go about it, number one, is to be good. Not everybody can candidly talk about all sports. So, number one, pick your genre of sports that you want to have, like your little niche, that you can own and be a SME, a subject matter expert, SME. You want to be a subject matter expert on one particular team, area, conference, idea, whatever it is, right? And then don't bite off too much. Like, just go slow. People want to try to emulate what they see, but they don't understand how hard it really is. Like, I've been doing this for 20 years. I didn't just wake up yesterday and go, man, I want to learn about all the players in college football. No way. I've been studying transfer portal classes and recruiting classes for 20 years. So that's why I know all the seniors on a particular team, or all the juniors, or all the sophomores, or all the freshmen, because I know them when they first came into college. If you sit there and try to learn it all because you want to do this for a living or a hobby or whatever, you'll struggle. It's like drinking water from a water hose, right? That's feasible. Try drinking from a fire hose. You're just going to hurt yourself, right? The other thing I'll tell you is if you start making videos and then you start studying and trying to learn your topic as you go, then you'll be building your plane in flight. Like, you'll be flying, but you're building your plane in flight. It's not ready. So you'll be struggling to even be relevant because you don't quite have all the... So what I fully suggest is that you become a fanatic, right? The word fan is derived from fanatic. Become a fanatic of sports and really try to learn your sport entirely. Like, take a whole season offline and just try to learn as much as you can about the sport. It's like when people tell me, Rico, you need to start a Patreon. Rico, you need to start a this. You need to start a that. It's like, I don't take anybody's advice. None. Rico, you should start a website. You should start a... No. I should be doing what I'm doing right now and perfect this. I need to learn all my graphics on this screen. I need to learn how to make my ticker better. Or I need to learn how to do, these transitions, these scene transitions better. I need to do other things first before I keep going too far. I come from a generation where people were janitors for 30 years, right? I remember I went to high school, and in my high school, we had a security guard. Her name was Jan. Shout out to Jan. Jan just retired. She was a security guard her whole life. At no point did Jan say, well, I want to own my own security company. I want to do this. I want to do that. The younger generation today has such a drive, and they think it's warranted. And they just want to, how can I be a CEO? I want to work for myself. I want to do this. And it's like, just slow down a little bit. It takes time. It takes effort. I get new employees all the time, new soldiers. And the first thing they want to do is get promoted. How do I get promoted? How do I get promoted? And if you're an employer right now and you own a business, all people want to do is get promoted. Oh, I just got hired. What is my starting wage? $22? Okay. Well, when can I get to 24? Wait, when do I get a raise? When do I get a bonus? It's like, slow down. And nobody wants to hear that. This entire generation doesn't want to hear that. I'm going to tell you guys, to do what I do and to get to where I'm at, I'm going to tell you, slow down. Take your time. I've been doing this, and everybody keeps asking me, when are you going to start this? I told them, hey, man, I'm going to do this whole football season just like you see me right here. I get offers every day. I get offers every day for sponsorship, for advertising, for ads. I'm gonna be right here, bro. I got to focus on this real quick because I got to focus on me, on my craft. Focus on you. Don't try to expand to the point where, well, how did you get that many followers? You know what I did? I talked about sports. How do you get started? Talk about sports. Give a take. Make a video and see who's rocking with you. You think anybody's rocking with my top 25 or top 50 players? Nobody's rocking with my top 50. I'm making videos every single day of my top 25 coaches and my top 50 transfer portal players. Nobody's rocking with it. But guess what? 5 years from now, I want people to say, oh, you were top 50 on Rico Knows. Oh, you were number 2. You were top 10 on Rico Knows. Just like people say, oh, did you guys see Rivals? Rivals has them top 10. Right? Hey, On3 just put out their top 20 team, blah, blah, blah. I want to be that. And I know to get there, I need to do what I'm doing now. 3, 4, 5 years from now, it'll matter. Were you a Rico Knows all transfer portal player? Because I'm going to make up my own poll, my own list. That's what I plan to do. That's how I get down. You got to have a vision. You got to know where you want to go. And it's not just winging it. Now, some people send me their videos and go, Rico, what'd you think of this? Rico, what'd you think of it? And I say, oh, you just sent me a video. What do I think of it? I think it sucks. I didn't watch the whole video. I didn't even finish it. You're stuttering everywhere. You're indecisive with your decisions and what you're saying. And one guy reached out to me and goes, why do you make so many cuts on your videos? Why are there so many edits in your videos? Bro, have you ever watched me on live? What I'm doing right now? Have you ever watched me do this? I could talk it for 3 hours straight. No takes needed, bro. I'm not struggling. I put the cuts in my videos on purpose because I'm trying to fit more information in a 3-minute limit. Oh, well, I don't like all the cuts. Okay, then keep it moving, bro. Go watch the channels you do like. But if you want to get started, I believe information is everything. Having the knowledge base is everything. And having points of reference. Let me tell you guys something. The other day, I saw a name on transactions. Let me show you this. This is where you become a content creator. Transactions, NFL transactions. I was going through NFL transactions just the other day, and I saw Greg Bell got waived by Detroit. Greg Bell got waived by Detroit. And that triggered in my mind, holy smokes, what about Greg Bell from the 80s? What about Greg Bell from the 80s, who led the NFL in rushing 2 years in a row, had back-to-back 15, 16 touchdown yard seasons. He held out on a contract, and then he got traded to the Raiders, and he never played again after 1 year. That's how my mind works. But I could have never got there if I didn't have the knowledge base about Greg Bell in the 80s, right? Couldn't get there. And then I posted a video, and I said, all these running backs who are holding out, they need to be careful because they could be treated like Greg Bell. And then somebody in the comments wrote, well, that looks like the greatest running back room of all time. Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, and Greg Bell? That's got to be the greatest running back room of all time. And I looked at that comment and I said, there's more. Let me show you. That's not the greatest running back room of all time. Let me show you guys this running back room. And it's all up here. It's knowledge I've already obtained because I read it sometime in my life and I retained it. It's not like I'm sitting here going, okay, what does sports news think is the greatest running back room of all time? I'm not Googling greatest running back room of all time. I gave my answer, and you won't find it anywhere on the internet. I promise you. You look up greatest running back rooms of all time, you will not find the two gentlemen that I put out there as the greatest back. And they won't even be on anybody's list. And that's how you can make your niche in this sports world, is have a sports take nobody has that's well-informed, thought out, and planned, right? So like when Colorado hired Sean Lewis, everybody was ripping Coach Prime and saying he's not an X's and O's quarterback. I'm like, coach. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you guys talking about? Sean Lewis. And I went onto a page, I made a video, and I said, do you guys know who Sean Lewis is? It's the fourth fastest offense in the country. Runs a play every 30 seconds at Kent State. How did I know all this? Because I studied. Because I'm ready. So you just need to be ready so you don't have to get ready. And then as you go on, you'll obtain enough information. And maybe one day you can do this, where I just do a live engagement Q&A. You know, when guys go on podcasts, you know what they do? Before they go on a podcast, they say, can I get the questions? Can I get the questions? And they do a bunch of research on the questions and what they're going to get questions and what they're going to give an answer to. Because they don't want to look like idiots. They don't want to be stumped. They don't want to be, not me, bro. I do interviews on podcasts. I'm like, just ask, bro. Let's just talk. I had this guy. I went on a podcast with this Ryan from Rational Hour. And Ryan just said, hey, Rico, I want to talk about some of the games next season. I'm like, go ahead, man. Just mention them. Just mention them. I'm ready. I'm on fire. I'm not worried about which games you wanted to talk about specifically. I don't need any notes. I'm ready. And that's when you'll know. You'll know when you're ready. Not everybody's built like that. Obviously, if they were, then it wouldn't make me unique. But I appreciate your guys' support and coming in here and asking that question. If you have aspirations to be this type of person, I would say rehearse, be well-spoken. I've always had the ability to speak to people candidly. If you see any of my old speeches when I was in the Army, I've been talking in front of thousands of people, hundreds and thousands of people my entire career for 20 years. I'm used to speaking in front of big audiences. So talking to you guys on a camera, and I'm looking here, it's like 100 people in here. I'm not worried about that. That's easy money. It's just another day. So prepare. Prepare your whole life for this. Shout out to you. Can you look at Furman games this year? Not necessarily Hayden Garner. Once again, I only cover FBS. Shout out to you. Seeing lots of talk about Louisville is the hype real. I believe so. I like Louisville. Now, I have them winning 8 games. They got a tough schedule, but I like a lot of what Jeff Brom's doing. I like Jack Plummer. All the receivers are great. Defense looks solid. I like Louisville a lot. Do you think the Texas Longhorns will finally win the Big 12 this season? David Madison, I have them as my highest ranked Big 12 team. I hope they do well. I have them number 10 in my preseason poll. Anything can happen after that. Rico, do you think Duke can finish third in the ACC this season? If not, where would you rank them amongst other ACC teams? I'm really high on Duke. Duke is number 25 in my poll, preseason poll. I made a video on it. I'm really high on Riley Leonard, Elko. I like everything about Duke. Now, ACC's looking good. I don't know if they'll finish third. I like them, but we'll know all about them after Clemson. We'll know if they're decent. Broncos defensive end, Ioma, suspended for 23 for gambling. Won't be able to come back till 2024. $5 he bet on the Donkeys. Man. I got to make a video on this nonsense. These guys never stop. Let me write it down. These guys never stop, bruh. Sorry. Thank you for the news update. Do you think Colorado will win their first game against TCU? I have Colorado covering the spread. I don't know if they're winning outright, but they're definitely covering that spread. They got it like 20 games. I got Colorado in that game. I got Colorado beating TCU. Let's go. I got Colorado beating TCU. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I got Colorado beating TCU. I don't think TCU's any good. I think TCU's a 5-win team. Bye. Bye. If LSU goes 10-2 but wins the SEC, do they get in the playoffs? That would all depend on the other teams, Cam. Other teams could all be undefeated, then they don't get in. How do you expect Baylor to play in the new Big 12 this season? I think Baylor's going to struggle. I like Baylor, but there's really good teams in the Big 12. I actually think the Big 12, top to bottom, is the most competitive next year. I really do. Right up there with the Pac-12. But it just looks like a lot of good teams. Texas Tech, K-State, Oklahoma will be back. Obviously, Texas. It looks tough. Rico, what do you think? Ooh. Chat just jumped on me. I apologize. Rico, what do you think about Boise State this year? I think they'll win the Mountain West. If Quinn doesn't enter the draft, you think it's possible he'll lose the starting job to Archie next year? No. Quinn Ewers is an NFL quarterback. No. Not even close. Jared, I went to Point Loma as a freshman. Dad being in the Navy, we didn't last my 3 years in Japan. I did a coach Monte Vista. Got 2 rings to prove it. There you go. I wanted to know whether you think Devin Ford will be an NFL running back. Sorry for not being specific. Oh, okay, Logan. No. No, you couldn't be the starting running back at Penn State. And you think he's going to start in the NFL somewhere or make it in the NFL? No, that dude's an undrafted free agent waiting to happen. He rushed for 600 yards total. I think 666 total while at Penn State. Somebody look it up. Let me know. Devin Ford, total rushing yards in college. Somebody look it up. Let me know if I'm right. I'm saying 66. Could be wrong. But it's just not it, bro. Gotta bounce. Thanks, Rico and Kim. My daughter wants to see Oppenheimer. I want to see it. First time I have been in the theater since. I might go see it tonight. Rico, tell me. If things go the way they're supposed to, so you can see Colorado go undefeated, I'm thinking that the other teams have important pieces that also have to get acclimated. Tell me if the things go the way supposed to, so you see Colorado going undefeated. Out of my mind. You have the right name. You are out of your mind if you think Colorado's going undefeated. USC had a Heisman Trophy winner, didn't go undefeated. Stop it. Hell no. How do you feel about Kentucky wide receiver core? One of the best in the SEC for sure. I really like Kentucky's receiver core. It's one of the best in the SEC. Damn, am I late? Evan Jones, we're starting 5 o'clock every single day. You're late, you can start it over. Super Dog, you had Michael Wiley and Ian Miller Helix, had them in our weight room to brainwash us. Okay, there you go. What's good, Rico? What's good, Patch? What's up, Rico? What's up, Sean? Smart. The generation wants to take the elevator and know nothing about the stairs. Don't let that go over your heads. Facts. Jared, yup. Ian, Mike, and Will, goodbye. Okay, you guys all know each other. What's up? I just started a job last Monday. I need a raise like yesterday. Then you shouldn't have started that job. Should have started with the pay you could handle and you wanted. Right? I start jobs all the time. I ain't get mad. I didn't ask for no raise. Who's winning 800 at Worlds? Is the Thing Mode running the 8? You're talking about women? Leo, I'm assuming you're talking about women. Give me a Thing Mode. If you're talking about men, not us. Rico, you saw Noah Lyles did 1947. Yeah, and Tobago did the 1950. Tobago was closing on him in that final 10. Shout out to Botswana. But yeah, I saw it. I just didn't cover it. I'll get around to it. Le'Veon Bell sounds like Greg Bell. Fair enough. Ring a bell? Yeah. I got Emmanuel Kipkakori, or Wycliffe. Okay, you were talking about men. Yeah, definitely not us. Hey, Rico, what do you think of Kentucky's wide receiver room? Never repeat the same question. Later, everyone. Later, Eric. Not even a Duke fan, but I live in Durham, so I attend a lot of NCCU and Duke games. Okay. Rico, how do you think UTSA does in the American? I think they still run the table. I think the American's going to be slightly down, but I still think UTSA is the business. So, word up. Shout out to Frank Harris. Let's see what they do. Sorry if you already answered this, but UNC or SC? South Carolina for sure. Which quarterback do you think will play their way into the first round? Which one will play their way out? So Ryan Wilson playing their way into the first round. I don't think any quarterbacks are playing their way into the first round or playing their way out. I don't think the NFL cares how these quarterbacks play. They still draft guys regardless of how they play. Shout out to Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. They don't give a shit how they play. This is not happening. The only guy that can play himself into the first round, Frank Harris, Cam Ward. Those are my two. Frank Harris, Cam Ward can play themselves into the first round. And your boy JJ at Michigan, yeah, he can play himself out. I need Cal to get more than 7 wins. Then, you mean THAN, then 7 wins. You're not getting Cal to get 7 wins. That's not happening. Can we add Demario Douglas officially signing to the I Am Right playlist? We're going to wait. He got drafted. I said he would. I think this year might be rough for Knighton to get on the podium at Worlds. He might get third. Rico, what are your thoughts on the rise of Georgia high school wrestling? I know nothing about it, Brandon Mertz. I didn't know they were rising that well. Rico, what's the deal with the Lions DB CJ? I don't know. That's news to me. Rico, what are your predictions for the schools to make the 4 playoff spots? Sergio Mendoza, I don't do that. You got to win your conference, and you still might not get in. I have no clue what other teams are doing. UTSA for New Year Bowl 6, if they run the table, or their only loss is to Tennessee. Do you think Sha'Carri will make the Olympics? Yeah. If so, do you think she'll win the women's 100 meters? That's a really long time away. We'll know if we're in shape there. AR catching strays, I love it. No, he's catching center mass. You follow any boxing? Not a chance in hell, Ryan Wilson. Soccer, I'm perplexed. Does Megan Rapinoe look better with her hair colored hot pink or lavender? I don't know which looks better. Women's soccer is so good. J-Lo, stop it. I will not watch any women's soccer. She didn't stand for the national anthem. I don't get down like that. I'm a soldier in the world's strongest army. I'm a proud American. I stand for that song, and I stand at attention. I don't put my hand over my heart, and I don't sing. I stand there at attention and stare at the flag, and I think about all the men and women we lost, some of which I know personally. So I ain't down with none of that shit. Do you think the Gophers can win the Big Ten West? Any thoughts on Ethan? Ethan Kalakik-Manis or whatever. He's got all the right targets. Got a good team. I don't think they can win the West, though. I think it's going to be rough. I think there's some really good teams next year. Shout out to all the other teams. Do you believe in the rebuild of the Seahawks secondary? I guess. I mean, they took a first rounder, first overall. I mean, that's on them. Hey, transfer portal, I already talked about these guys. I'm going to close it out there. Hey, look, guys, I don't want to go too long. We're at 103 minutes. I'm going to keep my show short every night. Just keep to the point, and we go. Thank you guys for all the questions. And I appreciate everybody who's here every night supporting the channel. You guys, remember, merch, ricoknows.org. Keep watching the videos. Keep sharing, liking. Let all your friends know. Because if your friends don't know, well, of course, Rico knows. Peace.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove their strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie, just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify. The things that you believe in have to scream it like a battle cry, and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love. Those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug. Those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make up lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father.